What's going on, guys? I'm Grant.
And I'm Sebastian.
And you're watching Bug Beats Radio. Trip hop motherfucking tier list. Let's get this shit. Alright. Also, none of these albums are bad, quick disclaimer. And not all of these albums are completely, strictly trip hop. They're a little bit of like instrumental hip hop and like dub, other stuff that, you know, is relatively in the same lane, influenced by or influenced.
Yeah.
Influences. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, let's do this shit. We only allowed one album per artist, by the way, with a max of 18 albums, so this is the selection we chose, and like Grant said, this tier list is not compared to like how good it is to music as a whole, it's compared to each album and how much we like them on our listening playlist, which will be in the description. Yeah,
and by the way, please because this was like 16 hours for each of us to listen to. If we get like maybe 10 likes, we'll do a part 2 to this, and we're gonna have like all the same artists probably back for another one. So let's get this.
Different albums though. Alright, to start we got King Tubby meets Rockers Uptown by King Tubby and Augustus Pablo. This shit goes so hard.
Yeah, this is like probably one of the best albums. We're starting out really strong here.
Yeah.
Like, this album is just the vibe that you get from it. You're not gonna get a vibe. No album sounds like this album. No album like compares to this album. It's very in its own lane. It's also by far the oldest album on this list.
Yeah. If you haven't heard it or don't know about it,
check out King Tubby.
Yeah, King Tubby and Augustus Pablo are two engineers in the dub genre, taking reggae and remixing it, and all the way back, and I think this album's from like, I can't remember.
77 maybe?
70, yeah. Something in the 70s.
Mid to late 70s. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's huge, you know, hugely influential on what would become like dub and jungle and like, you know,
reggae.
And hip hop in general.
Yeah, totally hip hop. Yep.
It's a big album. My dad actually recommended this to me a couple of years ago.
I mean, it's not like long, but it's like it packs a huge punch because every song is like only maybe a minute and a half to 2-3 minutes long, but like it will get stuck in your head so quickly. That's why I think we need to put in S+.
It's easily S+.
Yeah.
It's a top 3 album of all time for me, just simply because
with more listens,
context aside, it's like it's the vibe of this album is like there's no better vibe. Whatever you're doing, like if it would be
really
better
brings
with
up your mood.
with this album playing in the background, like it's just the easiest of easy listening, easily S+.
Yeah, all these are pretty easy listens, I would say. Like definitely I would recommend almost all of these for you guys, and you know, obviously the higher up, the more we suggest it. So next up, Becoming X by Sneaker Pimps.
Yeah, this shit it's another really solid one.
This is a classic.
It's like some absolute like 90s anthems. Like we got 6 Underground.
That is like a radio hit. Like I've definitely heard him play that song like back in the day, and it's always fucking.
Yeah, it's an absolute classic, and you also got like the title track Becoming X as well goes as very like sonically. I was thinking A.
Yeah, I think A is valid.
Top of A tier is exactly what I had in mind. It's like it's a very
really
like funky like 90s sound,
but it's not perfect.
Yeah. Definitely some of the like deep cuts were definitely like blended together.
Yeah. So the next up we got Mocheeba with Big Calm.
I love this album.
It's super like a relaxing, easy listen album. Like I feel like it'd be like the perfect type of thing to like turn on in like the shower, or like while you're like eating or just chilling. Like
yeah, definitely. It's like definitely a good mood chill album with like some highlights being like
the first song,
The Sea. So love The Sea. I've been hearing that my whole life, and also. There's one song in particular, let me find it, I can't remember the title off the top of my head, but, let's see. Oh yeah, the title track, Big Calm.
Yes.
Like the rapping on that it's really cool. It's, some great highlights and like no skips, like, I mean, it's like just such a vibe.
It's definitely one you're gonna want to listen to, like in its entirety. I'd say, below Sneaker Pimps.
I'd say above Sneaker Pimps in A tier, but I could go either way.
Let's just go above for now.
All right, yeah, let's go above. But they're very close in my eyes.
Yeah, they are. All right, next up, this is probably the easiest opinion we're gonna have today. It's like the pinnacle, the most influential, the most groundbreaking trip hop album. Dummy by Portishead. I will say the only downside of this album, if you consider it a downside, is that it's kind of sad as fuck at some points. If you really like immerse in the music, you're for sure probably gonna shed like a couple tears or maybe want to smoke a cigarette or two.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely the vibe here. But there's no arguing that this is gonna be an S+.
Yeah, I would probably put it. I would just put it above King Tubby just because of the sole fact that it's like definitively 100% trip hop.
Yeah,
and it's such a landmark that it's impossible to not put it number one.
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, I know that was short, but like you've all heard it, and if you haven't, why
Glory
are you
Box
watching
banger, Rhodes banger, Sour Times banger.
Pedestal.
Literally every single song is good.
There's not a skip. Mysterians. No. It's like it's just
every single song is great.
Like. Listen
Beth
to
Gibbons is out of this world.
Or don't, yeah. This is just crazy. This is S+ easy.
All right. Next up, we got Goldfraap with what's the name of this?
Felt Mountain.
Felt Mountain.
Yeah, this one, like we both discussed this briefly earlier.
We're a little bit indifferent towards this one. Like, not gonna lie, I wouldn't like suggest this one to you guys. But Kanye sampled it, which is pretty awesome on the song Human, which I had to be like, oh dang, this is freestyle 4, and like other people also have freestyled on that same beat that Kanye did, like Tyler and stuff. So that's fire, but obviously like we're just talking about the content itself. It's a little bit.
I mean, I still would recommend it, but of these, it's the last one I would recommend.
Yeah.
Not because it's bad. It's a good song.
It's slow, and I feel like it's a little bit more of like, for like the experienced like listener who's like totally like looking for that vibe. Like it totally fits a certain itch, which is like an itch of being calm, and like it's super chilled out, super relaxing,
slow, and like you really said it. It fills its own niche, but like if you're trying to get into trip hop, I'm not gonna be like listen to this.
Yeah,
shit.
You're gonna want some like engaging stuff with like. With lyrics that you can totally get with, and like some insane beats, insane drum beats,
and some
vinyl scratching sound,
some disc jockeying. I would say C tier.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we love you guys. We love you, Goldfraap, but we're not placing you that high today.
Yeah.
So next up, we got The Richest Man in Babylon by Thievery Corporation.
Yeah, I'm realizing
he loves this one.
I love this. I listen to it all the fucking time. I play it at work.
There's some really, really good songs on here. If you guys haven't heard this one, like it's got like some huge like jazz influence. Like it's definitely not completely trip hop, but it definitely has like it totally
and bossa nova as well. It's like it's got a lot of world music influence, which totally. A lot of these have, but this one is, I would say, the strongest by far.
Yeah.
And it's very chill. It's if you don't know, I probably should have fact checked this, but I didn't. But some guy, I work at a gas station, and I play this shit all the time there. And some guy who is a fellow Thievery Corporation, he comes in every day, and we were talking, and he's like, "Oh, is this Thievery Corporation?" I think I was playing. What's the most famous one?
Maybe All That We Perceive.
Yeah, All That We Perceive.
That is such a good song.
Such a banger, dude.
Yeah.
That little like brass section is like it's crazy.
Yeah, it gets me fired up.
Yeah. Anyway, I was playing that. And he's like, "Is this Thievery Corporation?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Oh, we were just chatting about it. You like it?" I was like, "Yeah, I love them," and he was telling me about how they formed, and he said that apparently the two of them were like I really should have fact checked this, but they had a cafe in I think he said Virginia, and they didn't know what music to play at their cafe, their coffee shop.
So they made music.
So they made this shit, and damn, it's
that
so
is
good.
So cool. Like knowing that context of it, like this would be the single-handed greatest thing to play at that coffee shop. So I feel like for that and that story, I'm thinking
at least S. Yeah, it's S. At least that. It's top of S for me.
Okay, so next we got
Krush.
DJ Krush's first album, The Japanese Legend with Krush. This is a cool ass album. This is almost all these albums have pretty strong jazz influences. This might be the strongest one. I mean,
I would think maybe it's Let's Get Killed, the David Holmes one, but this one is also up there for sure.
Yeah, this goes so hard.
Yeah, like, I love this album. I was like, I hadn't heard it before making this tier list. And afterwards I was like, I'm not gonna lie, there were some skips on it, but the ones that I liked, like I've been pumping on a lot. Like, shout out to let me see, let me look at my list of my favorite ones.
I think I definitely had to save a couple songs from here too.
Yeah, like Keeping the Motion, that one is so good.
Yes, that is a fucking
that
great
one
song.
goes hella hard. I think it's maybe one of the first tracks.
That had me ready. And Roll and Tumble is such a banger.
Dude, oh my god.
Okay, I feel like this has got to be like below Sneaker Pimps and A.
Yeah,
I was thinking B at first, but like I think this is A.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have a lot in the A tier range.
Yeah,
because a lot of this.
I feel like there will be some diversity though. Like,
yeah, we're
definitely gonna be getting some more different stuff. So next we got
Lamb by Lamb.
Lamb by Lamb. Lamb self-titled.
Okay, the first album. This one's got probably more breakcore than any of the other songs.
Yes, this is like this is totally like not trying to be offensive, but it's a little bit of like something you play in the background because it's just like drums, bass, drums.
Yeah,
you got insane drum beats on this one, like some of the best. Probably.
It's really cool. It's kind of reminiscent of like Prodigy or something like that, which I'm a huge fan of. It's definitely the most. I'd say it's the most energetic of them. Like
I don't know about that because I feel like, I mean maybe. Yeah. I mean,
it depends. Like,
there's some songs that definitely
not necessarily hype, but just like it probably has the most beats per minute out of all of them.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I definitely could see that because it's got some fast tunes.
Yeah, and I really like it. Being a breakcore fan, I really like. It's a good one. It gets me it gets me into like, ready to do some shit, like just to move boxes.
We're sorry if any of these descriptions sound like similar. Like, we promised you that we were trying to form the most diverse opinions possible on each album and trying to have, single listening experiences.
But so we are big fans of all these albums, and there's
it's gonna sound like we're beating the same bush. But like, to me, I'm thinking like right below Krush or B tier.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm
maybe B tier just for diversity.
I want to go below Krush because I feel like B tier is doing it a little dirty.
It is. Because for what it is, it's really good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with that. All right, next we got
"Let's Get Killed" by David Holmes.
Yes, this one definitely the most jazzy. Like from what I remember, this one is.
It is pretty jazzy. Yes, definitely. David Holmes. He gets like I'm pretty sure he gets because he's a European artist, right?
Let me check. Actually, I don't think I ever did much research.
If I recall right, though, he might have been a European artist who got like a lot of influences from like DJs in the States. I mean, this is an interesting album. To me, the only problem with it is like I feel like a lot of these songs could have definitely like been a little bit amplified if they had lyrics or like a hook or like something a little bit like like something like a crescendo, something like hitting.
Yeah, a lot of them kind of blended together.
They're very blended together.
Yeah, it's
definitely.
Like which can be nice for like
easy listening.
Easy listening, exactly. Great background music, but like
when I was listening to this album though, I was honestly like trying to immerse, but that's okay. Because it is what it is.
This is another great album, but
it's really good.
Among all these, I'd say it's B tier.
I think it's B too. I was gonna also say that literally.
Yeah. All right. Bet.
All right, next one we got The Silent Partner. I don't know the exact
Letters to Sosa.
Letters to Sosa. This is like probably the shortest, like definitely in terms of number of songs. I think it's only 6 or 7 songs.
Yeah, and they're short songs too.
Really good. I just listened to this one today. Like, well, the ones that are the most fresh on my mind, which are a lot of these newest ones, I'm gonna be able to give the most input on. This one had a really cool sampling of Journey and on I think a song literally called Journey.
Yeah. I love that one. I've been playing that shit consistently.
And then you were also talking about another one named Milky. And Ode to Sugar Hill.
Oh yeah, Milky and Ode to Sugar Hill. That's
such a banger. Literally, honestly, this album really slaps. Like
it's easily the most underrated.
Yes.
Because I mean I think they've got like 500.
And it's also I believe other than Flying Lotus, this is like the second most new album as well to come out. I think this came out in 2020. Banger though.
Absolute banger. Like so fucking good.
It's really hard to compare it with like these like older like classics because it is hard. But I'm thinking A.
Yeah, this has got to be A tier.
Yeah, this is a really good listen. Like, definitely would recommend.
I'm thinking below Sneaker Pimps.
That's valid. I think it definitely stood out to me more than Krush.
Yes, I'd be playing all the songs on this album like all the time. It's damn good.
I definitely am gonna. It's gonna be in my rotation. All right. Next up, we got the legend himself, Tricky, with Max and Quay. Oh my goodness.
this album is awesome.
So good.
It is so fucking sick.
Like, this is for sure one of those albums where, since I only listened to, like, most of them once, like, some of them I listened to a couple of times, like, Dummy, Post, etc. But this one, I'm for sure gonna need to listen to it again to pick up, like, some nuances, because, like you said, it's a super layered, super, like he put in a bunch of crazy stuff.
The instrumentals, like the sound of this album is just it's more the
soundscapes are beautiful
than like any of these other albums. Well, maybe not any of them, but it's like if you need to test good headphones, this is the album to do it too.
That is a really good point.
Like, this shit is so sick. It's S tier. Like, I'm not gonna.
Yes, we're not gonna beat around the bush. I think this is above Thievery Corporation.
Yeah. I like the Thievery Corporation one more, but like I totally understand.
Because I just feel like just because that is like such an essential to trip hop. It's like, you can't even say trip hop without the next album that we're about to mention, that album, and obviously Dummy. But like Hell Is Around the Corner, that's obviously like
I want to start a playlist with all of those.
It's birthed so many bangers. It's like an older tune.
Yeah.
So
but that's Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
But this is easily my second favorite sampling of it.
And then the rapping in this album is amazing too. Like, Tricky has bars.
No, for real, this shit is so cool.
And you could tell that this is just like, this is like what he had. Like, if whatever it was, he was cooking a five dish meal, whatever.
This shit's so fucking good.
So next up, Mezzanine.
Alright, I'm gonna say it right here.
Massive Attack.
This is my favorite album on the tier list by a lot. It's one of my favorite. It's up there for my favorite albums of all time. I've been listening to it for so long.
I need to listen to it again. I think it was honestly the first album I listened to on this list, which is pretty crazy, because it's probably one of the best, if not the best. I wouldn't say it's better than Dummy, just because in track-to-track consistency, I don't think it beats it, but the highs are probably higher. So it's right next to Dummy.
Yeah, for me, I'm a strong proponent
of
of this being my, because I mean, like, this album is how I found out that trip hop existed. Like, when I was like 16, I fucking was watching Dr. House.
Massive Attack is just really fucking cool. Like,
they're so fucking cool. Like,
isn't there a graffiti artist in their like band or something?
They know Banksy, you know, or, like, that's the thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Anyway, but this is so fucking good. There's, in my opinion,
strong
every single song is a high. Like some favorites being, my favorite song off the album is Dissolve Girl. That shit goes like, I need
to listen to that again.
Yeah, it's so good. It's in the opening scene of The Matrix, which has really been like one of my favorite movies since I was in 3rd grade. So that was actually the first Massive Attack song I've ever heard, and I can't not sing it every time it comes on. Also, you know,
like, just the inclusion of,
and they've got Elizabeth Fraser, you know.
That's what I'm saying. The inclusion of Elizabeth Fraser was beyond perfect. Like, it was like a match made in all heavens. Like,
yeah.
The fact, those beats plus her beautiful, luscious vocals, like, Oh my god.
And Horace
S+.
Andy, he kills his parts too. Like
he's fire. He's fire.
Like this album is just so fucking good. Like if you haven't listened to it, listen to it.
Yeah.
Now. I put so many people on this album, and like every time,
including me.
and every time they're like, "This is so good." Like it's like because
it's just like it takes you. See, what I want with any trip hop album is I want to be like taken into a world, and that was all the S+ tier albums. They take you into their world so good.
Yes, and Angel, like I remember being like 17 and driving to like a doctor's appointment. Right after I got like my license, and I was blasting Angel, and like my entire truck was vibrating, so I was like driving through Santa Monica, and I was like, this is the coolest moment in my entire life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Next up we got Air! Moon Safari.
Yes, this is another classic. This one is really good.
Like, particularly the beginning of this album just starts off with the absolute strongest bangs. Like, you got Sexy Boy and freaking the first track, which I think is an all-instrumental. Oh my god, that might be my favorite song on this whole not Tierlist, but this album.
Yeah.
So good. And, like, just, like, the general vibe. Air, they're definitely taking you to a whole nother dimension with this album.
Yeah, and that dimension is 1998, and it's fucking sick.
Yeah, like it feels like almost like since these guys are also French and dance, it's almost like I feel like this laid out some kind of Daft Punk took some kind of inspiration to it. For Discovery,
this shit is
because it is just awesome. So good. And it's ahead of its time.
I could honestly place it anywhere between the bottom of S tier and the top of A tier.
I was literally thinking the exact same thing, bro. So I say put it below Thievery Corporation.
Alright, bet.
It's really good. And the album cover's sick.
Yeah.
Next up,
whole ass vibe.
Post by the woman herself, Björk. Björk? Alright.
Wait, there's some debate about which Björk album to include.
I did not mention this one. I don't think, but it's a banger. I mean, it's a classic.
When you're talking trip hop, and it's like we were just like, okay, we threw out. I mean, obviously we were like, all right, we doing post debut fucking
No, I think I mentioned Homogenic and possibly Vespertine.
And Vespertine, yeah. I mean, those are the four, and we're like, any of them. We could have included any of them.
Yeah.
We decided to go with Post.
This definitely has like. I mean, I think all of her music has super strong electronic influence, but like this one for sure, it's like it's super like pop out beats. Like you could tell that these were like bangers meant to get people like moving and stuff.
Yeah, it's probably the most popular album on this list.
I would probably not actually. I'd probably say Dummy and Mezzanine might be more popular, but up there.
It's up there. Very, very like
Björk's super influential.
Huge influence in the pop scene
and like the
alt scene.
Just avant-garde music and just everything.
I mean, if you haven't listened to this, like listen.
What
to
are you
it.
doing? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you probably have.
Yeah, you heard at least a song or two. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's any arguing that this is an S tier in my opinion.
Yeah, I just like the fact that it's Björk alone, just honestly, like everything she touches just turns to diamonds.
Yeah, I mean,
like
there's
this
some
definitely
exceptions, but
this is well maybe like later in her career, but '90s Björk was peak.
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah, I would say
bottom of S tier.
Yeah, I was gonna say like above or below Air is where we need it.
I'm gonna put it below Air.
I think that's fair because it's definitely not her best. There's definitely other albums that are better. Okay. Next we got UNKLE with Science Fiction.
Yeah.
This is the last. I'm pretty sure the last album that I listened to.
Last album that I listened to as well. I listened to this maybe last week.
Banger! This is
really
a banger.
Good, yeah.
This is really good, dude.
And the features on here are crazy.
Yeah, like Tom York and
fucking Ian Brown, the guy from Stone Roses.
Yes,
and
like you said.
And what let me check all of the other ones. There's several. Alice Temple, Cool G Rap lyrics, Born. There's Badly Drawn Boy, Mike D. Some random but sick. Like this guy's got connections, as you said earlier.
Yes.
and it's clear this is a really fucking good album.
Yeah.
Kind of came out of nowhere.
Definitely.
Like I want to put it in A tier, but like high A tier.
That's fair. I would say above or below Mocheeba is probably.
Gotcha. I would say below Sneaker Pimps. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because.
Actually, that's fair.
I couldn't say I like it more
think,
than Becoming X.
I think I'm definitely letting recency bias speak with that one. So yeah, I think that's valid. Yeah.
Sweet.
Very valid. Okay, so next we got Departure, one of our 2 soundtracks that we're doing.
Yeah.
By
Nujabes.
And isn't it like Fat John?
Yeah, and Fat John. They absolutely cooked on this thing. This is the soundtrack for fucking what's it called? Samurai Champloo, which is
particularly Nujabes. He absolutely. He delivered.
Ask by Fat John though, that shit, like when I'm driving around late at night, like I just want my speakers bumping with Ask by Fat John.
What you bumping? I'm bumping that new ass.
Anyway, it's a fucking banger album.
Yeah, it's it's easy listening.
It kind of dies off towards the end a little bit, just because they have to be more subtle for like soundtrack purposes.
Yeah, and also I don't know if the last track was like totally meant to be part of like the full album experience and like immersion, but it definitely felt a bit disjointed from the rest of the album, just because it didn't really feel like all the rest of it. It was such like chill, easy listening with like just the biggest vibes I could ever imagine, and then we just have like this random like track at the end that's kind of like, okay, like even my girlfriend was like, turn this shit off, what is this shit? So anyways,
so it's definitely it's far from perfect. If it was a studio
it's really
album,
good though. I would say if it was just Nujabes part, I would say it'd be S.
I'm still tempted to put it at S. I could see anywhere between below Air and above UNKLE. Anywhere in there.
Okay.
I'm tempted to maybe put it.
I would put it like around Sneaker Pimps, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Alright, that's what I was gonna say.
Because it's totally like a different thing. But
I'm gonna put it right below Sneaker Pimps.
It's totally.
Sneaker Pimps is just a hard bar for me, like between like above Sneaker Pimps.
I know it was so hard having like such good albums at the beginning, because it's like, oh my god, now I have to compare like everything to these, to like King Tubby and Sneaker Pimps, which is difficult.
It really is. Last one on the list.
Well, actually, by the way, introducing is not here.
I swear I uploaded that.
I know. Next one, Flying Lotus. Isn't this the like Yasuke soundtrack?
Yeah. This shit is so sick.
Yeah, like, this is really cool. Like this is
I was debating which Flying Lotus album to include.
Definitely hard. He has a crazy diverse discography full of albums.
But I had to include this one just because it's got so many bangers on it.
And it's really good to have a recent album like.
Yeah, and it's new too. New. I think it's 2021.
Yeah, you have like to me this album is for sure like not one you would want. I mean, you could definitely like pick up the songs that you like and put it on your playlist, but like it's definitely a full album experience, like immersion kind of thing, because it totally takes you to like this crazy world of like.
Dude, you feel like
you're in an anime, dude.
You feel like a psychedelic samurai when you're listening to this shit. Yeah, it's fucking so cool.
There's some really like interesting songs for sure.
Yeah, like Mind Flight is so good. Dude, there's a lot on.
What are your standout tracks on this one?
Let me look at the album just so I can remember.
I know like I keep saying the most popular song's like the best one, but a lot of the times that is. Yeah, Crust was a banger.
Oh yeah, Crust, absolute banger. African Samurai with Denzel Curry, that one's so cool.
Oh yeah, that's fucking amazing.
Mind Flight, I absolutely love. I mean, like
this is another one kind of like
Sachi, Using What You Got is so sick as well.
This is another one kind of like King Tubby, where I mean it's nothing like King Tubby in the slightest, but it's like if you don't like what you're hearing, it's like it'll be out of your ears within like the next minute, because it's just like song, but they take you to something new every song, and you're just kind of like left like, damn, Flying Lotus is a freaking genius.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is like...
I think this is A.
This is easy. I was gonna say S, but but A is. I think A is better idea.
I could put it like in low S or high A.
Now that you say it, I'm thinking A tier, but like definitely above Departure.
Just because there's probably a few skips, but like it still doesn't like ruin the overall quality of the album.
I'm gonna put it at the top of A tier.
It's really good, and he cooked.
All right, we're gonna add Introducing.
We're adding Introducing, and we're coming right back as soon as possible.
Alright guys, we are back.
We are back, Bugs.
We have Introducing.
If you guys are still watching this, oh my god, I love you so much because you probably don't know half of these albums.
And we just checked and we've been recording for like almost an hour.
Yeah, this is insanity, guys. This is a long video. And also, next video, we're going to be doing this awesome video where we're going to be fake Blade tweets versus real Blade tweets with Caleb. Who can decide what is real? I'm
so excited for this shit. Grant, I know, has been cooking. He's the one. He's running the game.
I haven't been cooking. I haven't even started with my tweets that I need to compile. But I'm gonna do that right after this.
Either way, it's gonna be so.
It's gonna be amazing, guys. You guys are gonna love it.
You can play with us. It's gonna be a Hivemind ripoff. It's what we do.
I mean, it's not even though, because Hivemind never did that.
They never did this, and this is more lit than any Hivemind.
Yeah, we're not Hivemind. We're Bugs. Bugs Beats.
Bugs.
All right, and now we got the legend himself, DJ Shadow.
Yeah, I think this guy is from UC Davis, actually.
Yeah,
he's from KDVS.
From NorCal. He like grew up in like San Jose as, you know, like a white dude enjoying rap, kind of like us.
Yeah.
And he, you know, wanted to get his name out, and he started the first like hip hop. He started like the first hip hop like radio like thing on KDVS, which is like our local
it's
freeform radio station, which is super fire.
Yeah, we've got our boy Caleb joining us for the Blady video.
He loves DJ Shadow, and
he's also a DJ at KDVS.
Yes.
We pull up to the show regularly. We're probably gonna have our own KDVS show.
Yeah, we'd love for you guys to support us if we.
We'll let you know.
Yes. And this album, I think.
This one is straight from home.
We hold it really close to our hearts, even though I've only heard it like once or twice.
It's so good. It's so Midnight in a Perfect World.
Yeah,
Building Steam with the
Building
Grain of Salt.
Steam is
This shit is
like
this whole album is.
See, the thing about this album that's just so genius is that DJ Shadow, for one, he made this entire record that's extremely good without like a single ounce of like original materials, sort of like Since I Left You by the Avalanches.
Yeah,
which is another amazing.
It's called like Plunderphonics or something.
Yeah, Plunderphonics. Oh my god, I can't tell you how much I enjoy that music. Not gonna lie, it's so cool to just nerd out over, and just to be like, how did he do this? like where did this come from? Like, how did he make this drum beats to go so hard? Like, this has got to be by far the best drumming on any album here.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like sort of competed by the Lamb album, but this, oh my god,
I
just
think
blows it out of the water. It's insanity. Like,
yeah,
you just need to listen to it. Like the cohesion,
it's S+. Like
the cook, the tracks themselves, how much replayability. I mean, yeah, you spoiled it, bro. S+.
Yeah, if you didn't know,
Easy
DJ
S+.
Shadow, he's the reason that the term trip hop even exists. Like, how could we not give it S+?
Is that true?
Yeah, it's the
how
first,
did that come to be?
The first journalist to ever use the term trip hop was describing
his music.
Yeah, I can't remember. It might have been this album even, but
Oh, it's pretty crazy because this album definitely. I mean, was it like? Did it come out in 1994, 1995?
I thought it was 95, but let me check.
96. It might have been 95 because it says January 1st. But such a banger, so ahead of its time, such a classic. All these I think all the sounds from that album, didn't they come from like vinyls that DJ Shadow was like collecting in his vinyl collection too?
That would make sense. I mean, KDVS also has, well, as you well know, a giant fucking vinyl collection.
But they probably didn't have that many back in 90. You know,
yeah. It's I'm sure it's grown over the past fucking 30 years.
For sure.
But
dude, this is our list, and honestly, so is there anything that like seems like it's worth changing, like before we wrap it up, because this is getting really long?
Yeah.
I
It looks
honestly
really
like
solid to me. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think we predicted at the beginning, A tier is cram full.
Yeah.
But
I think there's like pretty
good.
good diversity throughout the, you know, top tiers. I mean, obviously we have strong camaraderie towards these albums. You know, we like them, but I mean, we're trying to be as objective as we could. You know, when we
Yeah, I mean, you can't be objective about art, but
yeah,
you can certainly try.
Yeah, you actually. Well, you can somewhat. You can be like, this has substance. This doesn't have substance. But then, like, some person might not like the substance.
Because
the substance could be useless
anyway. Yeah, it's like nothing.
Music's insane. You can go on.
Yeah. Which we'll be doing a lot more on this channel. Stick around for more music, gaming, epic videos. Oh yes, we're also working on creating a Minecraft realm using
it's gonna go so hard.
The Bedrock add-on fucking what's it called? Realism Craft. We'll like watch the trailer for that. Not for
it's
artists,
gonna be like real life in Minecraft.
It's gonna be so fucking cool. You guys are gonna love it, and that'll be probably our first gaming series. I mean, we got to get a Clash series going.
We need to do a Clash tier list as soon as possible.
About the tier list,
definitely been lacking on the Clash side. But make sure to join Bug Encounters. I mean, our clan. No one joined from the video, guys. What are you guys doing?
Dude, how many times do we have to say?
Yeah, how many? Do we need to do another sticker bombing video? I know you guys don't want that.
Yeah, they don't seem to want it.
Yeah,
30 of them might want it, but
yeah, seriously, man. Like, be appreciative. Like, man, we're putting out content. We're trying our best. No, I'm just playing. All right. Have a great night, Get Bugs. We love you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining. Make sure to check out all the albums in S or above, particularly.
Yep.
We love you
guys.
Bugs.
Check the description for the playlist.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace out.